We got to get through AEW.
Fair enough. So Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Them's his words. Them's his words.
I don't know how I feel about Will Ospreay being
100%.
in a secondary title. I don't, because I feel like he's just gonna win. But then does he drop the title before? And this is just me off the wall thinking, does he drop the title before he faces potentially Swerve at what is it, All In? That's in Wembley, like, or All Out. I think it's All Out. That's in Wembley. I don't.
All in Wembley.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm taking Ospreay to win. That's my prediction. But I don't know how I feel about him winning a secondary title or being in this secondary title feud.
I don't know how it's not Ospreay. It has to, like, I mean,
right.
I don't know how you get out of it. Like, to me, the two biggest signings, whether we love it or hate it, but the two biggest signings of 2024 for AEW was Mercedes Moné and Will Ospreay. And they're both competing. And if you want to throw Okada in the mix, where all the AEW fans wet their pants and went, we got the big three. All three of them are mid-card champions by the end of next week, by the end of the week.
Major mid-card signings, my guy. 100%.
Like, what the fuck are we doing? I don't get it. I mean, but yeah, Ospreay, I mean, I can't imagine, unless you're setting up, what, Adam Cole's ready to come back. Adam Cole costs Ospreay. Then Roddy gets to stay champion, but then Ospreay fights Cole. No,
I can see them doing some dumb shit to where they have, you know, the Undisputed Kingdom. They have, you know, Taven and Bennett and fucking Wardlow, what have you, end up costing Ospreay, and we set up all this dumb bullshit and everything. But this has to be Ospreay, and I think this is the biggest sign of we're diverting Ospreay from taking on Swerve at All In. We're gonna try and buck the narrative that everybody thought we were gonna do to still try and validate Swerve as a champion, even though they've shat all over him. But I think this is the way that they can divert it, and they don't know how to fucking divert a train that's got momentum beyond this.
Could that be like do they try and recreate like the title versus title moment? Like it's Ospreay and his title versus Swerve and his title.
As long as no one's doing this and Raw that with Hogan and Warrior. No.
Right. Now, like, I mean, the go home show last night was crazy. We had 7 afterbursts. Like every match had a brawl after it. We had 2 different car spots. If you know Tony Khan is going to pull up, it's so weird that Nana also pulled up. Like you did 2 car spots in the same show. You had a flamethrower. You had Ospreay bleeding. You had Tony Storm gets hit with a high heel shoe. We got a bloodbath
for the shoe.
The FTW thing was a complete shit show. Back-to-back nights, we saw a double pin in a triple threat. That's not their fault. NXT did it too. But yeah, I don't know. This is like Sunday is going to be chaos for better or for worse. Ospreay has to come out of this looking like a champ. No.
100%. I was going to say you're tied in a flamethrower and a bloodbath into this.
Just chaos. He was bleeding. They made him bleed.
Welcome to AEW Wrestling in 2024. The fucking matches are made up and the results don't matter.
I don't think there's any other outcome to this match other than Will Ospreay winning. That's kind of how I feel.
But is that kind of just shit that I know you kind of talked about this, KJ, but isn't it kind of just shit that you have one of your biggest signings and this is supposed to be your 5-year anniversary pay-per-view? This is supposed to be one of your fucking staple big 4 or whatever, however many pay-per-views you have. And you have one of your biggest signings and they're out here going at Roderick Strong for a mid-card title and ain't kind of doing shit. And, you know, they've been having to fucking carry this with a load of sandbags like no other year.
Well, and I think beyond that, it's not like you have like Roderick Strong, the backbreaker, you know, the professor of whatever.
Mind you, I think this has the potential to be one of the matches of the night.
Oh,
in ring.
100%, they're going to cook. That's the fucking ironic part. And this is kind of how right now AEW is hot shotting everything. So Tony will get away with a really good match and go, see what I did. But you know, we had Roddy running around in a neck brace, screaming at him at the top of his lungs and making peanut butter sandwiches and
with giraffes.
With giraffes being completely a joke gimmick. And now we're supposed to take him serious against arguably the best professional wrestler in the world in 2024. One of.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
The Undisputed Kingdom story, we don't give a fuck about anymore. That's just gone. That's burned up. That's wasted. That is lost. Don't even try and revive that.
They are. They're not done with it. I'm telling you.
Just quit trying to serve me fucking past the sell-by date fucking stories.
Right. Dale saying the ratings last night were 713. So an improvement. Not a big W, but an improvement.
Above dirt is better than below dirt, I guess.
Right. You can breathe above dirt. So
what's the next match, Nikki?
Timeless Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's World Championship. And who is the babyface and who is the heel in this?
Why are we even here with this match? I know I like Serena Deeb. I do, but why? Like Toni Storm was in a nice, decent, somewhat okay feud with Deonna Purrazzo, and then that was sidelined for Serena Deeb. I don't get it. Toni Storm
got caught up with Thunder Rosa.
That's true. Toni Storm retains. I guess.
Why is that match then not on the pay-per-view? Now maybe it ends up on the pay-per-view, but you had a little bit of a build and we forgot about it. Like, do we remember that they're still mad at each other? No, they weren't on this week's show. Like, what are we doing? You can have a women's match on the pay-per-view that isn't a title match. Like, take Jericho off the pay-per-view, put Deonna and Thunder Rosa on the pay-per-view.
You're trying to get me to defend AEW's shit women's division, and it's not going to be happening out here because it's so funny that we can watch an NXT that'll have 3 to 4 women's matches. They're all better and all have more cohesive storyline, etc., or even a TNA Impact and everything. But meanwhile, we're out here trying to still figure out who's the babyface and who's the heel of, why isn't this? Why isn't Thunder Rosa involved in this match? Why isn't Purrazzo involved in this match? Is Serena Deeb a babyface or a heel? Merchandising. But you have Serena Deeb out here of trying to be the babyface but still being kind of the heel. You have Toni Storm out here of coming out underneath Serena Deeb's dojo flag and everything like that. It's provocative. No one knows what it means, but it gets the people going.
Yeah. And I talked about this with the fans last night. We obviously saw it going around a lot, and this fallacy that heels and baby faces in wrestling are dead. It bothers me that apparently a guy who's been professionally covering wrestling forever thinks you can go heel, it's situational heels and baby faces. The dumbest, most asinine bullshit I've ever heard in my life. And we've seen it with this Toni Storm, Serena Deeb thing. It's fucking Serena Deeb comes back, and Serena Deeb's demeanor, attitude, approach is very heelish. She has a very endearing story, great, but everyone likes cheering for this, spastic Toni Storm, who's been the most charismatic, outgoing character in the women's division. But she's the heel with a heel sidekick who's making out with a strange Japanese girl. And then you got Serena, who's just lost in the whole mix of it. Same thing happened with Deonna Purrazzo. You made a big deal. Wow, what a huge signing. We got Deonna. Our women's division is going next level. And she was the baby face. And Toni was the heel. And it was wrong because Deonna's an amazing heel. and Tony's getting cheered by everybody. It doesn't make sense. So nobody cares. This match is going to put us to sleep, and I love both these women. It makes me sad because I love both these women.
I'm still stuck on the strange Japanese girl.
I think I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so.
Oh, they used to be tag partners. I don't give a shit why they make
Joshi wrestling. 100%. It's this whole storyline is the definition of it's provocative. No one knows what it means, but it gets the people going. Right. Whichever direction that may be is one side or the other here. Like Serena Deeb comes out and like talks about how she had her whole experience with having seizures out the blue and everything like that. We were even out here talking about it of like T's and P's. Hopefully she can get her shit together. Hopefully she's doing well, everything like that. She's able to come back and wrestle. She's out there talking about how she almost died and they're booing her because she doesn't do the shit in black and white and everything. Yeah. Meanwhile, like you said, we've got Maria May, who was supposed to be the one to usurp Toni Storm. That's now just like you're the Robin to Batman now.
Mm-hmm. And I thought with Mariah May coming in, it was teased that this was going to be similar to the like Mickie James Trish Stratus thing from years ago, and it has not. I don't know, the whole idea of Toni Storm being champion right now, it just bugs me because I feel like it should have been Deonna Purrazzo. That's kind of how I feel, and then we just like pivoted into this thing with Serena Deeb, and then when she came out to challenge Toni Storm, you couldn't even hear what she was saying because they couldn't get the audio right. So it's like I'm not even invested.
Is it weird that your top women's title match is not your top women's match on the pay-per-view?
Is that
absolutely? When you have, and I know the past couple of streams I've been watching you guys, you've talked about Willow being bigger than Mercedes Moné, and at this point I do agree, no disagreement there. But you do have two of the biggest women right now going after the secondary title, and it feels like the secondary title is the main title right now for the women's division.
You knew you were signing Mercedes Moné. You knew you were signing Sasha Banks. So you have Willow, who was a babyface, is a really good babyface. Take the belt off of heel Toni Storm months ago. Then Sasha comes in, and now going into Double or Nothing, you have Willow versus Sasha for your top title. And that's where, okay, you're going to pay her $10 million a year. You're going to make her the highest paid woman in all of wrestling. Then here's your main event status. You're fighting for the TBS belt that nobody gives a shit about. That the originally, like for the last year, 2 years, all the understudies, the up and comers, the green girls that held the TBS belt.
Who held it versus who challenged for it, because who held it was Stat and Jade.
Yeah, Jade was green as shit. Took her 7 months to train. Stat was still learning herself and figuring herself out as much as I love Stat.
I'm not arguing as to who was there, but I think that they had a big investment with them and everything like that. Like, trust me, I fully understand that Sasha should not be challenging for your mid-card title here. Think about your big investments, your big free agent signings if you're AEW. Mercedes Moné challenging for TBS title. Will Ospreay challenging for international title. Kazuchika Okada, currently your Continental Classic champion. What the fuck? You're not holding any real prominent world title, not even contending for it, not a number one contender, not in a major storyline, a major feud, anything like that. And honestly, this whole storyline between Willow and Sasha has just pretty much just got Willow over. Like, I think we all kind of just want Willow to win and just fuck you, Mercedes. CE no.
The entrance music sucks. It's a built-in chant that's not working, and she's a heel. That's the same thing they did with. Do y'all remember when they debuted Saraya and Saraya was going to revolutionize? And the minute she started talking, the AEW faithful were like, "Boo! Tony didn't learn shit. He did the same thing with Monet. If you're going to bring her in and have that attitude of, I come from the bigger, I come from elsewhere, and I'm the best." You see it. They're just shitting on her. And poor Willow's going to drop that belt, and she doesn't deserve to drop that belt. She's earned that belt.
That's been the biggest travesty with all of this. There's no way to recoup anything out of this match, honestly, at this point, because Willow should win. She's your biggest draw with that title. She's probably, honestly, at this point, your biggest draw in the women's division because Britt's out, Jamie Hayter's out, etc. She's your biggest draw in that division. She's over more even than your main champion, which, again, we can talk about that.
I don't know about that. Hold on.
Fair enough. Whatever. Split hairs. I will concede that to finish my point.
I'm not going to fight you on it. It's
You're right, but that's the thing is think about what you paid. If you're Tony, you paid to have Mercedes there and have her for this locked-in deal, and she's out there, CEO and everything. And again, the crowd's kind of out there of CE no. They're kind of over it. They don't want her to win. People more want Willow to win with this. So what do you recoup in this? You either bury arguably your biggest women's babyface to suffice what you've spent on a talent, or you hope that she can figure it out and you've just fucked everything. Like you have a lot of risk, no reward.
Yeah, that sums it up pretty good.
And it's what we perceive as the outcome. Like, if Willow wins, then you invested this much money in Sasha for her to do the JOB in her first match. Like, that's a bad investment. A match
that we waited 2 months for.
Yeah, that's a bad investment.
Sorry, Anthony. Mercedes.
I was just gonna say I'm more scared to see like if this is her first match back. Like, I'm scared to see like if she immediately gets injured. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just have that feeling because like once she went to to New Japan, she wrestled 3 matches and then was injured. And I'm fearful for that. Like, we waited this long and then she could potentially get injured. She's been injured a lot throughout her entire career, even in WWE. So I'm more concerned about that. How that looks. But Sunday we'll see. But yeah, I hate that Willow is going to be the one to probably lose this match because like KJ said, both of you guys have really said it, that she's really earned this over her course of her career in AEW. So I don't know.
Even in the course of this storyline, she's been the one.
She's been the one. Mm-hmm.
And you talk about it being one of the 3 triple main event. Well, Tony was there last night. Serena Deeb was there last night. What did we get for Willow and Mercedes? A preview package. Well, why aren't they there if they're one of the main events? Why weren't they highlighted last night on Dynamite? Help me understand.
Want to have her cut a live promo?
Yeah,
you want to have your ears bleed? Is that what you want?
Right. Spaz Phoenix is back with Super Chat. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. Gave you guys a shout out on KQOTR. I like it. Preview available now where you video and pod. I'd love your community to come hang out. Happy wrestling weekend all. Well, thank you, Spaz. We appreciate it. And go check out Spaz, guys.
Right.
I don't usually say that out loud. Next match. Are we good with next match?
I was gonna say we got a rapid fire here. I need to hit a restroom here. Copeland versus Malachi Black in a barbed wire steel cage match. And shit. And if I wanted to have something that we're gonna not talk about a lot, this fucking menopause of a match was not it.
I think this match is gonna be good. Anthony?
Yeah, I feel like Adam Copeland's been doing some good things in AEW. He's really enjoying it himself there. I don't see Malachi Black winning. I don't know. So I'm gonna choose Adam Cole here. Or Adam Copeland. I don't know why I keep calling him Adam Cole.
I think I kind of agree with you. I think this match can be surprisingly good because of the people involved.
Yeah.
And I wish I said this last night. All the spooky stuff they're doing now should have started a month ago. Like you could have done the mind games leading up to this, opposed to just Adam Copeland got beat up until the week before, and then he freaked out and went, "Oh, vampire on us." But I think it could be a really good match. I'm looking forward to this match. I would love Malachi to win. I really don't believe he will. So I'm leaning Copeland unless somehow the House of Black help Edge win. Or Malachi.
Fair enough. So we're just going to ignore this whole Gangrel fucking bloodbath thing and everything.
Yeah.
That, you know, progressive, it was heavy with the flow. All that.
You get some wings and get out of here if you don't hurry up.
Tai Chi.
Right.
But yeah, that was aggressive. That bloodbath on Malachi was aggressive. There's been a lot of people have made a lot of memes about it. I think we're very much setting up for Brood Adam Copeland. We'll probably we feel we get a Gangrel appearance? Because I've also seen that floating around about how he wanted Gangrel for 39 and he couldn't, and Tony will pay for it. So fuck it.
But they already did with the Hardys on this fucking show.
Fuck it, though. Welcome to AEW. Fuck it. It's all vampire wrestling. We have bloodbath. We have Hangman Page out there sucking blood out of Swerve's forehead and everything. This is True Blood.
Right?
This is just all fuck it wrestling.
Go full Brood.
I got money.
Give me Christian then. Go full Brood. Drop the Patriarch. Yeah, let's go. You want to impress me? Go all out.
Could they do it with the trademarks though? But I think we fully get Gangrel at least something. Like we're gonna get some red mist, all of that. We're gonna be drinking from the chalice or everything. Full Gangrel. I do think Adam Copeland wins this, and then Malachi Black get put on ice, much like Ricky Starks. So I heard you want to leave, so you can sit there and wait until you leave.
We only put you in this angle because Adam Copeland asked for it. Thank you. You did your job. Goodbye.
Right. Thank you. Have a nice day. Like that's the thing is, I think once some contracts come up, it's going to be very interesting. And I think there's even one person, I'll say Konosuke Takeshita. I think he's now entered that realm of once my is up, I'm out.
I'm out.
You think right now if he slid into WWE with what he could do with that size, with that frame, with who's in charge and everything, that he's not at least IC title, US title?
I think he would do
North American title, him versus Oba.
I think they would groom him extremely well in NXT and set him up. And he definitely has a lot of potential, a lot of upside. And even he said, I'm working really fucking hard and I don't seem to be going anywhere.
Welcome to Tony Khan.
Yeah. Next match.
John, speaking of it, John Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita in a title eliminator match. If I could write the Wikipedia fucking timeline better, I wish I could. Yeah.
Why are we having an eliminator match on a pay-per-view? That's my first question. My
7
second question
show.
is,
fuck you, that's why.
My second question is, like, this is going to sound very, very bad. People complained about the championship contender match with WWE, but don't say anything about the eliminator match with AEW. They're the same thing, and they both are terrible. Why are we doing these anyway? I don't get it. And the second thing is, it really just needs to. The third thing, it really just needs to be for the title. It's a pay-per-view. Have it for the title. And New Japan already came out and said they don't really treat the title the same way in AEW like they treated in New Japan. So like, this is another pointless match. I'm sorry. I'm just a Debbie Downer with this whole double or nothing card.
And like I said, it's a double dose of nothing out here.
Anthony's like, you guys are lucky I like you, or I'd be gone. I don't want to talk about this. No, I mean, I agree. this is another one of those matches where save it for Dynamite, save it for Collision, save it for the next New Japan Strong show, right. But keep it off Double or Nothing because less is more, quality over quantity. This match does not need to be on. Like, I don't give a fuck that you're defending the IWGP title, which I couldn't fucking save to save my life last night. But I don't care about an eliminator match or a title defense of another company's belt on this show. I don't think it's necessary. You have all these champions. We don't need this belt defended on this show.
Well, it's not even defended. It's almost pretend defended. This is the definition of a contract workaround here of we're going to say you were in a title match, what have you. This is Tai Chi, ho, 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 ho. We can say you were in a moment and we can try and appease New Japan, and Moxley's going to be out there and he's going to bleed like this. Theoretically, if this was for the title, be a hell of a match. Honestly, like I would be interested in this match, but because it's a fucking title eliminator, I don't care because nothing has any ramifications on anything.
Yeah, outside of like a King of the Ring or a Royal Rumble, when do they ever do a number one contenders match on a pay-per-view? Pay-per-views are for payoffs. Like it's not a common practice.
It's not a common practice. I mean, TNA does it every now and again. I think they just did it last year at Against All Odds. They had the 8-4-1 match to determine the number one contender. Yeah. I mean, but that was interesting. This is not. So
point proven.
Yeah. No, I mean, we could do without this, and realistically, us three sitting here right now, John Moxley's going to come out. It's going to be a jump start. They're going to fight around the arena. Takeshita's going to hit some good moves. John Moxley's going to sell none of them. And then John Moxley's eventually probably going to choke him out, even though I'm going to pick Takeshita because maybe it sets up the title match he deserves.
Fair enough.
John Moxley not going to bleed in the first 3 seconds. I know it's not that type of match, but he has to bleed sometimes.
Bro, they saved up all of the Moxley blood that he hasn't bled, and they just released it when Malachi Black was there. That's what it was. It was just bloodletting of John Moxley.
Right. That was Moxley was
it was all the built up blood of just I need to let it out. That's why he constantly has to bleed in every match within 3 seconds, otherwise he just explodes. No, this is a fucking terrible match. Terrible match in the sense of realistically, if this was a title match, this would be great. If this was even on especially on a New Japan show, this would be great. This is a fucking title eliminator match that's probably going to fall in the first half hour to second half hour of what is probably a 5-hour show. So this is going to be some bullshit that I don't really care about. And I really wish that, and Takeshita's even said it, of I should be booked better, I should be treated better. Yeah. That's why I still think he's going to be the first and next on the train of, once my contract is out, I'm out. I'm first train to Connecticut.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Agreed. Next match.
Oh, Jesus. Trent Beretta versus Orange Cassidy. And why does this match not have a stipulation when the other one does?
So from my knowledge, Trent Beretta did turn on Orange Cassidy, right? And that's how
correct.
We got. Okay.
All right. But Don Callis is trying to recruit Orange Cassidy in the like.
Why not Trent?
Why not Trent? This is so funny. It should be a great match, though. It should be a really good match. It should be a good match.
Should be and are two different things.
It should be a great match. I'm choosing Trent Beretta. I don't really understand Orange Cassidy.
No one does.
So yeah, I'm just gonna do Trent Beretta.
I want Trent Beretta to go to TNA and hang out with Kazarian. Maybe give Kazarian a little bit of love.
Just call them the Island of Irrelevancy.
I love Trent. I think Trent's so good.
No, but you said Kaz. Like, what is Kaz doing right now that you're like clamoring for that?
Oh, just say he's a good worker. They would work well together, and I think Trent brings personality
That's
Kaz
cool.
lacks. That's all.
That's great. They work well together. No one gives a shit about them working well together.
I think if they were on TNA doing real good work, people would get into it. I got no problem with that. Kaz went through last year with all his fucking
That's true.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I think because someone like Trent could elevate the personality that Kaz lacks at times. But again, just Trent not being in this situation would help. I think Orange Cassidy's going to win because he always fucking wins. So I'm going to go Orange Cassidy.
I like how the majority of this discussion of like, how can other people do better outside of this company? No one was like, this is going to be a back and forth match. I feel like we've seen this match now, unfortunately, like 3 times, even though we should have seen it the first time when we saw, parking lot brawl between Chucky T and Beretta and everything. But yeah, this is going to be Pockets gets the win, and Trent Beretta just is lost in the abyss of mid-card heels that is just becoming like the fucking asteroid belt of AEW wrestling, of just mid-card heels that have nowhere to go.
Yeah, and I don't know how Don Callis ties into all this. I don't know how Dickhead Callis is involved. I don't know.
He's flaccid in the situation. That's what it is. He's flaccid in the situation.
Right. Send Jay Lethal. I think that, again, that's another Dynamite match, though. That would be like a Dynamite match. We'd be good with it. Doesn't need to be on the
right.
Next one.
Well, here's a Rampage one. Chris Jericho, the Learning Tree, with Big Bill, with Large William taking on Hook and Shibata for the FTW Championship in a triple threat. Can I pick no one wins? Is that an option? Can I pick no one wins?
Well, first and foremost, how do you feel about your boy Keith getting just doing the job
J-O-B,
hard?
I mean, I don't get caught with the shrapnel. I'd rather get out of Dodge. You dodged a bullet here. You got out. Take the L and be happy that you didn't get caught with the stank on you. 100%.
Buried. Man, I don't even want to make a prediction on this match because I'm so like anti this match. Like, I almost guarantee you I will be not on screen when this match takes place.
Jericho wins, and we're setting up a tag match between Big Bill and Jericho versus Hook and Shibata. And I hate every second of it.
I think this is just a way to get Chris Jericho. I can't even talk. Chris Jericho on the card. This is pointless. I'm not supportive tonight. I'm not supportive.
That's the thing. AEW match. This asks you to be supportive of it. That's really the big question of it. It's not. That's the thing that we have as wrestling fans have fucked up in our heads of we're supposed to enjoy and be gracious that they give us this instead of looking at it of like, nah, this is some bullshit. Like, you're expecting me to pay $50 for this? That this is some dynamite. This is a dynamite in a collision, and you want me to pay $50 for this? No, that's the thing is, it's not feeling guilty about being a wrestling fan. It's just like, no, step your fucking game up if you expect me to pay.
Yeah, if they were smart, this match would not be on this pay-per-view at all. It's not they had a number 1 contenders match for a title they don't recognize. That bothers me right out of the gate. But Jericho sucks. I have multiple clips of me bitching about Jericho. I have literally beat Jericho to death. I don't know how much more I can say about the fucking guy. It is literally watching a live weekly midlife crisis unfold in front of me. It is fucking appalling. This match shouldn't be a thing. If this was Shibata versus Hook, 1-on-1, take my money. I'll pay to watch that. I like Shibata. I like his phone gimmick of like, I speak English. Like, I think it's great.
Stephen Hawking, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I would like to challenge you for the FTW Championship.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying you like?
Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's funny, right? Because again, it works. Like, the last couple weeks where with Renee Paquette. I like it, but
I do find it funny. It did. That is a little bit.
I just think this whole match and a lot of this card is really an example of they've eroded their internal fan base. We're starting to get down to the nitty gritty of you either about that action or you're not, because let's be honest, there's not, like, if you were to hold this card to other Double or Nothings, where would you say this card stands? I would say it's probably towards the back end. It's riding a short bus here.
Thank you for the super chat, Desmond. I appreciate it. As I say every week, Y2J looks like my perverted 6-year-old uncle.
Okay.
I can't comment
Keep
on
your
that.
hands about 10 and 12.
If the leopard print G-string fits, there we go. How you doing?
Judas in my mind.
Yeah, we don't have
well,
to.
And that's the thing is, and that's even part of how this feels like this is becoming like just. This is the Scientology of pro wrestling, respectfully. Of just there's some people that are about this with this, of where we've got Fozzy and Swerve with, you know, garments as one tour and everything. Like, we're now getting like AEW music tours when we're still trying to, you know, pass off. We're gonna be in a 10,000 seat arena, but sell 2,000 seats and everything like that. Like, it's just the echo chamber, the silos siphoning down, I feel here.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. But I mean, we could beat this to death for 2 hours. But what's the next match? Did you guys?
They do it for like 10. They do it for like 10 hours a week. So
did anybody predict it? Did anybody predict something here?
I said
Jericho.
Yeah, I guess I go Jericho. I said it to where we just set up a tag match here, because I feel like that's where we're going to go with this. And this is the feud that will never end, because who else is left to feud with Jericho? Honestly, unless he's going to start going into Ring of Honor.
You just have to wait. When somebody gets popular and starts heating up, that will be Jericho's next feud.
Yes, but are we past the point of people getting popular in AEW?
Maybe he gets a title shot at Swerve next.
Oh, don't you fucking say that out loud. Don't you put that genie right back in that bottle. So you don't speak that out loud in public.
He already had one with them.
No.
We
put them genies all back in them bottles. No.
I want
oh no.
I really want Jera Hogan to become a thing. Like hashtag Jera Hogan. Everybody listening right now, go out.
Yeah, and we can watch that on the fucking 700 Club and everything.
All right, next match.
All right, so the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Well, no, just the Bang Bang Gang. They cut out the scissors.
They lost the scissors.
Yeah. Taking on Death Triangle, reformed, recalibrated, reinitiated here for the AEW Trios World Championships.
Well, first and foremost,
you said that like you paused like I said something wrong.
Not at all. It was literally in my head. Like
fair enough.
When you were talking about they dropped the scissors and that, and I was thinking, running with scissors is dangerous, but it's not as bad as scissoring with the runs. But nonetheless, again, another match that could be on Collision or Dynamite or Rampage. I love Jay White, but literally, did you guys catch it during last night's broadcast? A fan yelled out, "Who wrote this shit?" Well, Jay White was talking. Perfect. Summed up my whole night.
Hey, them packed out crowds to where you can hear someone say something clear as shit, crystal clear.
It's like watching the TNA
on
show.
The television broadcast.
It's like watching the TNA show because their crowds are so small where you can actually hear somebody yell out stuff like that. I've always said it. The Jay White run in TNA way better than what he's doing in AEW, but he swears he's having fun. So yeah. This is another match I don't care about.
I would argue
just give it to the Bang
having
Bang.
a better run than Jay White is in WWE.
Say that again. I missed that.
I said I would argue that right now in pro wrestling, Tama Tonga's having a better run than Jay White.
Immediately when he was aligned with the bloodline, like it just, yeah, absolutely.
Positioning matters. Make this one quick and short and sweet. I'm going Bang Bang. He retains.
Fair enough. Death Triangle to be difficult because
what else
I guess Chaos Theory reigns supreme in AEW here. Is this where when you thought that AEW had signed Jay White and everything, you had heard that, and that was allegedly the coup of the century at that time because they had gotten him away from WWE and everything.
Yeah.
That this is where we would be at.
No.
Where you have Swerve Strickland as your champion, and you can have Swerve versus Jay White. Instead, you have Swerve versus Christian. And instead, Jay White's in a who gives a fuck match. Like, this is where we're at.
Yeah, it's been bad. Like Anthony said, nobody cares. I mean, Death Triangle might win, but I want Pac to do solo stuff. Anthony's right.
I think it's just a known fact that what is happening with Jay White is not good. You can't even compare it to anything. Try to think about it in any light. It's terrible. It's complete trash. Like, put it out there with the workers who come and collect the trash each and every week and take it to the trash site, because that's what it is.
Have you ever watched a wrestling promotion though more like this, of like you're kind of out there like, I'm gonna get you out, I'm gonna get you out one day, I'm gonna get you out with some of this shit? I'm like, I think we're getting to the apocalypse here, of to where we're gonna see a lot of people that just give up their contracts here, or just walk away. Contracts aren't renewed, etc.
Oh, they're getting paid huge money to work very little, man.
Bro, Ricky Starks, Aleister Black. There's already 2 at the gate here.
We got stars that will work their contracts out, but the Sasha Banks of the world, some of these guys, I mean, they're making huge money to never work.
Oh yeah. I'm a fan of the Yankees. I understand how paying bullshit contracts works. So 100%, I think that we're going to start seeing a lot of these people that know their worth and know that they're just getting underutilized. They're putting, out on a chamber, and they're getting ghosted and everything like that they move along.
Speaking of moving on, my friend.
Right.
Next match. We can go home sometime.
Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné.
The only match I care about on the card. Finally, we get to a match that I care about. I guess I have to say easily Mercedes Moné, because I feel like that's where it's leading up to. I think it's going to be a great match. The only thing that's got me to tune into Dynamite each and every week, not saying it is the greatest feud of all time, just saying it is a feud that actually has continued each and every week to get me to tune in. So yeah, I got Mercedes Moné. Really feel bad for Willow Nightingale here.
I'm with you. Poor Willow. We talked about this earlier. She deserves better. She's earned it. She's outshone the big signing. Like, if you were to get a stranger who knew nothing about wrestling and said, which one of these ladies is making more money than the other one, I feel like the majority of people would vote Willow because of how she do.
Right.
Mercedes all the way.
At this point, we're just waiting until her contract runs up, and then she can go.
Everything. They're just gonna contract out and leave.
Just fuck it. At this point, well, I think we're gonna see a purge at some point here. This is not a sustainable fucking budget here. But anyways, I'll just, for the sake of being difficult and not trying to run on too long, I will take Willow Nightingale here to actually get the win here, because I'm sick of Mercedes. I didn't like her to begin with, so I can't cheer for her. I can't pull for it. Just fuck it. Just burn in hell, Mercedes. Just moving on.
Right. Camille in the mix. People have been talking about Camille coming around. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, you're gonna go Willow. That'll be interesting. I'll be shocked. She loses her first match ever in the company.
Just fuck it. Just Tax write-off, Tony. Tax write-off.
You motivated. She motivated. There you go. 2 more matches, I think, sir.
So we have Swerve Strickland versus Christian Cage for the AEW World Championship. And I say that here because this is the third tier of the triple main events, and it's going to be interesting to see where these fall throughout the card.
I have a feeling that this might go first.
If you're not first, you're last.
I can speak on that a little bit. I have heard that a lot of people want Mercedes and Willow to actually be the main event. So I don't know if that's going to happen. But I did say Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné was the only match I cared about, but I do kind of want to see Swerve and Christian. I don't really like the story, but I do think these two are going to go out and have a phenomenal match. So I guess I'm picking Swerve to retain. I don't think he's going to lose to Christian.
Yeah, Swerve's not losing the belt. I'd be shocked. Yeah. I feel like the main events are pretty predictable here. Yeah, Swerve all the way.
Swerve retains, and it'll probably happen at like middle of the show because just fuck you. We'll just keep burying Swerve. No, you don't think that we're gonna pay all of this money for Mercedes and she's gonna either kick off the show or end the show, and you're gonna end with Anarchy in the Arena?
No, but they advertised the triple main event, so to me, those are going to be the last 3 matches of the show.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
Oh,
I don't think they're going to go those 3 matches in a row. I don't think so.
It's a triple main event. That's where does the main event go? It's a triple main event.
I understand that.
Like
I understand what you are saying. I understand, though, going by their also logic, that they will not run that the same way. Of that, they're going to run those 3 matches. You're going to run your 3 biggest matches right in a row.
Yeah, it's a triple main event.
That's how they're advertising it.
I don't understand. They advertise it.
Yeah, right. How many times have they advertised some shit that not delivered?
Yeah, but they're not going to call it a triple main event and then put them on second or fourth or first. Like,
bro, you're really going to sit there and think that they're not going to do that?
Give me an example of another time they went that stupid. Like, come on.
Chris Jericho. That's stupid.
Main event. That's the last 3 matches of the night.
I fucking really doubt that. You're gonna follow up. You're gonna blow your audience out if you do those 3 matches all right in a row.
Why?
What do you mean? Why? Your 3 biggest matches all right in a row? WWE doesn't even fucking do that.
I mean, they've done it with the double main events, and I've been to a TNA show where they advertised the triple main event. Now, only 2 of the main events.
And Anarchy Arena is going to be in the middle of a fucking triple main event.
It should be the last match.
Okay, so you lead to what? You lead to Mercedes. You have Mercedes versus Willow. That leads to Swerve versus Christian. That leads to an Anarchy in the Arena.
I think they'll do it the other way around. I think Swerve will go first.
Either way, it's not good.
No, I'm not telling you it's good. I think a triple main event is a bullshit approach. I think it's a chicken shit approach.
So you think that my idea of that they split it up is worse?
No, what I'm saying is they're advertising a triple main event. So I'm saying whatever you think is bad or good doesn't matter. They are giving us 3. Those are your 3 final matches. We don't know what order, but
I don't. I'm saying I don't believe that they're using the term main event as in it's the last 3 matches. I think it's that WrestleMania type vibe of to where you're going to have every match as a fucking main event. You're going to have something that's a main show. That's a main event.
When has that ever happened?
I'm trying.
When does that ever happen?
Here, Nick, but I'm not seeing it.
It's a triple main. So people wanted Willow and Sasha to be the main event. Tony knows he can't put them on last because and no offense to the women, you're gonna bury the women if that's the last match. People are gonna be fucking leaving the building if that is the last match of the night. They'll get Anarchy out of the way and then they'll be gone. So to placate to the internet audience, because that's what Tony does, he called it a triple main event so nobody's feelings get hurt. But the Anarchy in the Arena shouldn't be a main event. The world champion should be your main event, but Swerve never gets treated like one. But those are your last 3 matches on Sunday, my guy.
So you're hand in Jesus that you think that they go straight those 3 matches 3 in a row.
They announced it, Nick. It is a triple main
event. You can call it a main event. That doesn't mean that they're gonna fucking treat it as the main event.
The last 3 matches, it's been spoken of. Like, that is the main event. I don't know why we're arguing this. It's not even an arguing point. I don't agree with it, but that's what they're announcing. That's what they're promoting. You can't go triple main event and then have Sasha and Willow go out second. Like, what? What do you mean? That's what they're doing.
I don't even know how to respond at this point.
I don't know what to tell you. Like, but yeah, that's your last 3 matches.
I'm not going to have a coronary. Right. So then predictions on, well, are we all in agreement that Swerve wins versus Christian?
Yes.
Yes.
So then we come down to last match is the Elite versus Team AEW, Team, Hank Scorpio with the fucking flamethrower and everything.
He had a flamethrower.
Bro, what in the name of fucking GTA was that shit? Like, we barely even talked about the fucking, bloodbath and everything. But man's out here just getting dropped off in the pinkest of all feathery hoodies and everything with a fucking flamethrower. Like, is that not top of the list of wrestling weapons that have been involved that good and how well they ain't gonna fucking use? Like, are we gonna watch a murder live on TV right now?
Yeah. The dumbest part of the whole angle was Tony Khan's supposed to be running the show and he's driving around the block with Darby. Like, where were you? Like,
Uber Tony Khan.
Like, why were you not at the show if you don't even have a neck brace anymore? Why are you here?
But is this not like the payoff, the build off, the blow off to this whole feud? Like, where do we go past here?
They'll figure something out. I don't know.
No, don't say that because they've been trying to figure shit out. It's all been bad.
Tony,
they're going to keep it going. Hangman's going to come back, and they're going to keep this going. But Anthony, you first.
It's probably going to be the Elite. I don't really like them, except Okada. But I really want it to be Team AEW. I don't think the Elite loses here, so it's the Elite.
Sir?
I think the Elite have to win. They're going to continue the war against Tony and AEW. If they lose on Sunday, it's done. It's dead. I think Hangman comes back to help the Elite. He comes back and everyone's like, oh shit, they suspended him. He hates them. Gotcha. He helps them win, and they show back up on Wednesday, and the Tony Khan versus the Elite saga continues.
So you think we get, chapter 2, return of the TK here?
Yeah, so he has to come back and run his show sometime, right?
I just worry that they've already burned through enough chapters here of this should have been one of those stories that should have played out a lot longer, and they're burning through chapters here, and I think we do have Hangman Page show up, but I think he shows up and he helps Team AEW pick up the win over Team Elite. I understand it's the wrong decision to have your big heel faction lose right out the gate, but if there's a company that's going to do wrong decisions, so I think, and it's a way you reintroduce Hangman Adam Page, you probably set up towards him versus Okada at like Wembley or something. Yeah, I feel like this is almost like a lose-lose situation a little bit here.
It is because they rushed it. It is because this happened and got accelerated because of Punk doing an interview with Ariel Helwani. And that's the fact. They try and justify the security footage by the storyline.
It's more responsive than progressive, and that's the problem.
Yeah. But yeah, it's dead in the water. If they lose on, then what do? Well, you're the hapless group that can't do anything. They need to win this, especially against a makeshift thrown together team. I don't know.
Yeah, but so then what's the end? Kenny?
I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to pinpoint the end of a lot of AEW storylines when none of them make sense to begin with. And so it's not a WWE situation where a lot of WWE storylines feel like they have a storybook. They have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And a lot of the times with AEW, things just go in a circle. So this is probably going to go into a circle for a couple of more months. That's kind of how I feel. One of the only storylines I feel like that have some type of a beginning, middle, and end is the Mercedes Moné and Willow. They started with New Japan, her getting injured. They both in AEW magically. Here's the middle part of the storyline, and then we'll eventually get to some type of end. But with this, it's just everywhere. So can't really predict the ending to something that doesn't really have a beginning, to be honest.
No. But I feel like it's been such a short run, like it was all for naught if it doesn't continue into some type of, like, you got to continue. Right. You know, they tried to kill Tony. So you got to keep going.
You're trying to kill him.
Right?
No Shad Khan. We're going to get Tony and Shad Khan versus Young Bucks here in a tag match here. I feel it's so weird because AEW does less pay-per-views, but feels like they can never build towards a resolution at the pay-per-views. Meanwhile, WWE does more pay-per-views, and you feel like everything kind of builds towards a resolution at those pay-per-views.
Yeah, it's what I call pop-up book writing. Like, they don't really tell, like, we're used to, like, you read a novel and it, you know, you follow the story, you follow the plot. But a pop-up book, like, you open the first page and something happened, and then you open the second page and they skip the plot because it's a pop-up book. So you open up and now something else happened until eventually you just kind of like, we're done. Like, I've always called it pop-up book writing. And that's, again, on them to do better. But I think Tony's having so much fun being involved. And he was just, you know, at full.
Tell me he's not getting involved in Anarchy in the Arena.
He might.
Odds on right now, 1,001 odds. Yes or no if he gets involved?
I'm going to say yes.
Oh, he definitely gets involved some type of way.
He trips somebody up. Does he heel turn? Do we get a little heel turn?
He drives a fucking car right through a door. Like that's
him and Sue. Double team.
Yeah, I'm putting my money down on Tony getting involved, which then might hurt my argument. Maybe Tony does win and this dies. Again, flip a coin.
It's all bad. It's all bad.
It's all bad.
But watch it with us on Sunday, folks. We will be here.
And it's, to me, it's just one of those, it's so infuriating of, there's a lot of us that want to see AEW do well and everything like that, but you just get added to the list of, like, you just hate a raid. It's the Scientology of wrestling at times, of a little bit of like, we want it to do well. Just make it make fucking sense. And you don't want it to make sense.
Mm-hmm. MCMG debuts to help TK.
Ooh. So then you just kill off FTR, which, side note, is Darby the one that you expected out of Team AEW to show up with a firearm? Because I will say that wasn't my choice.
If you watched my reaction last night, I was like, FTR's here, FTR's here. Wait, no! No!
I'm finna drill you.
I was like, fucking Darby's got a gun. I think that would kill MCMG real quick if you threw him in the middle of this tornado.
At this point, they just don't need to be in AEW at all, but I don't make the decision. So,
but is that not a crazy theory that we've gone from AEW's, you know, the beacon of independent wrestling to leave here and never come back? It's become the elephant graveyard.
Right. It has. It definitely has.
I think it's going to continue to be like this. If you are in the beginning of your career or the end of your career, you're going to end up in AEW. Like, it's a good place to get noticed. Like, you go to AEW and you have a Ricky Starks type run, and people bitch that you're not utilized, and then WWE sign you up, and you're good to go. And then when they're done with you, they send you back.
Yeah, but how many people get that type of run even at this point in AEW? Like, think about it. Queen Amanana, if she wasn't Queen Amanana outside on the independent scene, I don't think she'd be even where she was. Exactly. I don't think she'd be as featured as she was. I think you have places like Ring of Honor that are wastelands within AEW's booking and roster field. I think it's much more of a landmine of you're almost hoping that you were somebody that had enough of a build-up, like a Ricky Starks, a Malachi Black, a Konosuke Takeshita, that when your contract signs up or is up, you can jump, versus a lot of these guys that are just like, I'm just here and not getting used, and I can't do other bookings, so I'm just kind of here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the AEW circle at this point. Yeah.
But gentlemen, I think with all of that being said, I think we've done our due diligence this evening. We went through Howdy, we went through King and the Queen, King of Queens, Queen and King and Queen of the Ring. See, definitely too long. And AEW Double or Nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us as always. We are back at it tomorrow for SmackDown. We might be peeking in at some other stuff. And then, of course, 11:30 a.m. Saturday, we will be here for Brunch with the Boys. Sunday night, we will be here at 6:30 p.m. We are the pre-show to the pre-show. We watch more live wrestling than anybody else out there. We got so much coming your way. We got so much on the docket. Follow us. Click all the links. Be a part of the show. Be a part of the fun. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
I think I'm good. I don't have anything else.
Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, but that full live footage.
Come back tomorrow. See you on the flip side. Good night.